welcome back to another Sunday prep day. As every Sunday, I prepare all my veggies for the week, and this week I'm also going to prepare some lasagna and some tomato soup. So, let's get started. I have a little bit of this golden broccoli left over, so we'll cut that into rosettes. So, yeah, for my menu this week, for lunch today, I'm going to do some a baguette with some ham. So I usually do sandwiches on Sunday because I don't eat bread or carbs for lunch during the week, so that's like a little treat. And then for dinner I'm going to do some steak. So I might also make some compound butter just from a packet. It's not really that exciting, but I might do that as well. So yeah, steak. Actually, no, the cauliflower is going to go with the steak tonight. For the lunch I had in mind, I have some asparagus, but those don't really need prepping. So, yeah, and then tomorrow for lunch, on Meatless Monday, I'm going to do some tomato soup. So that's what I'm going to prepare today. And then for dinner, I have some vegan bacon. So I'm just going to do some pasta. And I'm going to have some onions with that, some peppers, probably some vegetable stock. The soup, I have some celery, and I'm also going to use that to make the tomato sauce for the lasagna. And then Tuesday, I'm going to do a low-carb stir-fry. You might have seen that before. I use bean sprouts instead of noodles or rice. I've been really enjoying that lately. And then for dinner, I'm going to do tacos. I was going to do some Korean tacos, but the only store that I know that sells ready-made kimchi didn't have it in stock. So I'm just going to do some regular plain tacos. This carrot is also going to be for stir fries, soup, and tomato sauce. So yeah, tacos, and then I'm gonna do stuffed chicken breast on Wednesday, and I'm gonna probably stuff that with some leftover of the compound butter that I'm gonna make, and I'll have some asparagus with that. And then on Tuesday, I'm gonna do another low-carb stir-fry. One is gonna be with chicken, one is gonna be with pork. So, but mainly the same ingredients, just some different seasoning and different meat. And then for dinner, I'm gonna do a couscous salad with some chicken. So the couscous salad is couscous, parsley, some peppers, and cucumber. The cucumber probably won't last until Thursday, so I'm not prepping that, but everything else I can chop now. That's also something to keep in consideration when you're doing a food prep like this. Some things will easily keep for several days, some things don't. So cucumbers usually dry out quickly, so I don't prepare those days and days in advance, like 2 days maybe, that's fine, 3 in a stretch, but things like carrot, onions, peppers, yeah, those will last for like 5 days easily after you chop them. So let's get on with some leeks. Again, soup, stir fry, and probably the sauce as well. I do a apologize if it's a little dark. It's been raining today. It's actually nice that it's cooling down a bit. I don't usually have any specific lights on. I just use the natural light and just the ones under a counter. And that should be enough leeks. We'll move on to some onions. I'll also do some pickled onions actually. Again, for the soup, for the stir fry, for the sauce. By the way, I always appreciate comments on my videos. If you have any questions or suggestions or anything like that, please leave a comment. I always read them, I always reply to them. My purpose with these videos is kind of having you just come along for the ride, be in the kitchen here with me. So the more you interact, the more I can reply to you, and yeah, I quite like that. So I'm just gonna do some garlic. It's gonna go in basically the same things as the onions. And I always give them a rough chop first and then just run my knife through. That's the quickest way to deal with them. And we're moving on to some peppers. I have some red, I have some green, and I have some yellow. And again, I'll just use that for my soup, probably a little bit. My pasta sauce for the stir fry. I just like using all my different vegetables for different dishes. It makes prepping a lot easier if you're just reusing the same ingredients, and it saves on waste a lot too. Because I'm single, I usually cook for one person. Sometimes I don't get through a whole piece of vegetable in one go, so in one meal. So by planning around using vegetables in different meals, I reduce a lot of waste, and that also saves money. Just gonna cut these all into small pieces, and do them lengthwise first. And then cut across. And I'm gonna do exact same for the green pepper and yellow. Alright, and then we have some chilies. I'm going to use those for the same things as the peppers. They're not overly spicy, so I'm not going to bother taking the seeds out. add some parsley, which is going to go in couscous salad. I'm just going to run my knife through, nice and fine. I'm going to save this for another day, and this I'll just cut as fine as possible. And for the lasagna, we need some cheese. And I'm just quickly gonna grate that on my microplane. Okay, that's done as well, so now we're just gonna start, I think, with the soup. So I've preheated my Ninja Foodie on saute. I'm adding some olive oil. And to that, we're going to add some of our onions, a nice handful. Some garlic. About half of our carrots and celery. Some chilies, not too much because I'm going to add some chipotles and adobo later, because I want to use that up and it gives a nice smoky, spicy flavor. And I have my peppers. I'm just going to add a pinch of salt. And we'll let that cook down a bit. So while that's cooking down, I'll clean up a bit here. So I'll be back in a moment. And now that has cooked down, I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. I'm just going to cook that a little bit to get rid of that raw tomato paste flavor. And then we'll add a can of tomatoes. Sometimes I use fresh, but I happen to have a lot of cans of tomatoes, so I'm trying to use those up. And we'll also add some water. I'm just rinsing out the can. And like I said, to make it a little bit smoky and spicy, especially since there's no meat or anything in this, I'm going to add some chipotles and adobo. So I'm actually going to switch over my foodies. I have two, so I'm going to put this in the other one, and then I'll make the sauce for lasagna next. Okay, so the soup is in the slow cooker for about 4 hours. So now let's get started on the lasagna sauce. So again, we have the foodie on saute, preheating. Add some oil. And then we'll add some onions. Some garlics. Leek. Carrot and celery. A little bit of chili. And a little bit of peppers. Add some salt. And we're just going to let that sweat down a bit. We'll add some ground beef. And now that that's browned, we'll add some more of the chipotle and adobo just for some smoky spiciness. And I wanted to use this jar up. A can of tomatoes. And some water. Some Italian seasoning. And we're just going to let that slow cook for a few hours as well. So we'll check back in a few hours when all this is done. And welcome back. The soup is done, the sauce is done, and I almost forgot the pickled onions. Here I just have equal parts wine vinegar and water with a pinch of salt. And I'm just going to add that to some thinly sliced red onion. So that really is how simple it is to make pickled onions. So cap on, let that cool down. So then we will start with our lasagna. We have our lasagna sheets, we have our cheese, and we have our sauce. So I think we all know how to make lasagna. I'm just going to add some sauce to the bottom. Add some pasta sheets. Some more of the sauce. Spread it out nice and thin. Add some cheese. Our pasta sheets. Sauce. And just rinse and repeat. And we're going to finish with a nice layer of cheese. And I'm just going to wrap this in some foil. And this is ready to go in the oven when I need it. And then the last thing to do, we have our tomato soup here. And I'm just going to use my stick blender to make that a nice smooth little soup. And that's it. We've made our pickled onions, we made our lasagna, we have our soup, we have all the veggies ready for the week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please leave some comments. If you have any suggestions for food that you would like to see me make, let me know. I'm always looking for suggestions. Yeah, let me know if you like the video. Let me know what you'd like me to do more or less. And yeah, definitely subscribe if you like this kind of content. We do it every Sunday. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.